Hello and welcome our blood viewers to RTC's News English Edition. As usual, we'll begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Exchange on social programs and interventions to fight poverty and Khorangor. And on the international scene, COVID-19, Omicron at the heart of discussions at the Davies Forum. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The Republic of Djibouti strongly condemns the terrorist attacks that targeted oil facilities and the Abu Dhabi airport yesterday, resulting in human and material losses. Djibouti denounces the new cycle of violence undertaken by the Houthi militia and reiterates its solidarity with the brotherly state of the United Arab Emirates in its efforts to ensure the integrity of its territory and the security of its citizens. The Republic of Djibouti concerns the recent Houthi attacks against the United Arab Emirates as a dangerous development that threatens regional and security stability and undermines the chance of resolving the Yemeni crisis and ending the suffering of the brotherly Yemen people. Djibouti also expressed its sad condolence and sympathy to the families of the victims and to the government and people of the United Arab Emirates, wishing a speedy recovery to all the injured. Moving on towards the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdo, who moved this Monday, January 17, in the sub-prefecture of Khor Angar, located in the region of Obok on the occasion of the National Week of Solidarity 2022, whose theme is the policy of fighting against poverty towards more empowerment. Accompanied by a strong delegation of her department, the prefect of the region, the president and vice president of the regional council, and the deputies, the minister, Mrs. Ulufa, went to meet the population of Khorangar, who gave her a warm welcome. Under a tent, the population spoke directly with the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity and the local and regional authorities who accompanied her to express their gratitude for their arrival in their locality. The inhabitants also took advantage of this meeting to describe their needs and express the difficulties they encounter on a daily basis. The objective of this exchange for the Department of Social Affairs and Solidarity is to listen to the population, especially on the grievances that concern the social programs and interventions that the ministry implements as part of a policy of fighting against poverty. The population present was able to talk about the social programs of monetary transfers that are granted to them. These programs represents of the inhabitants of Khor Angar who a means of resilience, which allows them to improve their living conditions and to develop their livelihoods at the same time. In addition to this governance, the inhabitants present at the time also asked for support in strengthening the community's income-generating activities, particularly those working in the field of crafts and trade. Finally, in addition to the economic development of the community, the health of the population was put at the forefront. Far from the capital of Obok, the population of Khor Angar requested a reinforcement of the health care of its fellow citizens. The Secretary General of the National Union of Djiboutian Women conveyed the greetings of the First Lady of Djibouti, President of the National Union of Djibouti Women, reviewing the union's efforts to improve the situation of families in the interior regions. For their part, the traditional leaders, in addition to women and village representatives, discussed in detail the difficulties they face. Stressing their desire to strengthen the main sectors of the desired development process, they also talked about the development projects under implementation, including covering the needs related to fresh water, health, and educational facilities. Spokesman for the residents of the district stressed the great importance of this visit, which aims to get a closer look at the living conditions of the people. In turn, the Minister of Social Affairs delivered a speech that began by offering thanks and gratitude for the kind reception and hospitality she and the accompanying delegation received. The Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, accompanied by the delegation, then went to visit and see for herself the health posts of the community. Khor Angar is also a coastal plain that concerns important fishery resources. That is why, during her presence in Khor Angar, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity visited, together with local officials, the cold rooms built for the conservation of fish. These buildings, which are the result of partnership between the Islamic Development Bank and the government of Djibouti, contributes to the strengthening of livelihoods and the reduction of vulnerability of pastoral communities in the Republic of Djibouti. In addition, other large-scale projects that promote the empowerment of the community of Khor Angar are being carried out on the grounds by the AWDS, which has been working to provide street lighting and access to energy in homes. the visit that took place. As part of the strengthening of the partnership, a signing ceremony of partnership agreement between the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities and the National Agency of State of Information Systems took place this morning at the Djiboutian Post. The signature was between the Director General of the ANPH, Mr. Douali Said Mahmoud, and the Director General of NC, Mustafa Muhammad Ismail, pardon me. This signing is above all to strengthen the relationship of cooperation between the two institutions, especially by continuing to develop systems that are and especially meet the demands of the Djiboutian citizen, with a much more attentive look when it comes to people with special needs. This signing ceremony was attended by the various agents of the ANPH agency. The director of NC declared in a speech that the fruit of this partnership will be, in our opinion, promising, but also we are committed to meet this challenge to put citizens, whoever they are, at the center of the concerns of the administration, and especially to facilitate their access to these services. In a speech by the Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Douali Said Mahmoud explained at the outset the importance of this agreement, and he said, "We conclude this morning with the Director General for the National Agency for Information Systems an important partnership agreement to enhance the existing cooperation between the two agencies in the field of digitization. This is the second signing of its kind following the agreement we signed together in the past. This agreement aims to advance the existing partnership between the two institutions, as this agreement resulted in many understandings, exchange of experiences and information, and many interests that benefit the National Agency for People with Special Needs. The National Agency for Digital Information System was established in order to upgrade electronic service that facilitate citizens to benefit from electronic procedures and other procedures that require great effort. I commend the efforts of this agency with which we have a close and solid relationship, and we hope to continue concluding such agreements to exchange benefits between us." Moving on, as part of its missions to promote and protect human rights, the National Union of Djiboutian Women, which is also known as UNFD, in collaboration with the Coalition of African Organizations for Women's Rights Equality and the Ministry of Women and Family, organized a sensitization workshop for the youth of women of District 5 yesterday afternoon at the CDC of Section 5. The workshop was attended by the interim coordinator of the UNFD Listening Unit and representative of the UNFD Project Coordinator, the technical legal advisor of the Ministry of Women's Affairs, the director of the CDC of Section 5, and the youth and women of this neighborhood. The MAPTIR Protocol, also known as the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, is an international protocol of the African Union, committing signatory states to guarantee women's rights, including the right to participate in the political process, social and political equality with men, improve autonomy in healthcare decisions, an end to female genital mutilation, and forced marriage. At the end, exchange took place between the youth and women to discuss how to improve the rights of women and children. Within the framework of the daily statement issued by the Ministry of Health on the current epidemiological situation with COVID-19, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Saleh Bonita Turab, announced that the number of diagnosed cases were 607 people were diagnosed today, Sunday, the 18th of January, and the results indicated that there were 105 new cases of the virus, while 140 people recovered today, and no deaths were recorded. About 574 people received the vaccine. At the conclusion of the statement, Dr. Saleh Bonita Turab urged the citizens to receive vaccination and adhere to preventive measures against the epidemic. Moving on towards the international scene now, the pandemic was one of the main topics at the Davos Online Forum, during which Anthony Fauci, Senior Medical Advisor to the U.S. President and Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, believes that the Omicron variant could accelerate the acquisition of immunity in the population, but only if one other variants do not appear. Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining us.